Hi everyone. Today I'm gonna show you 6 tricks on how you could increase CTR, which means click-through rate on your main Amazon image. If you are selling some supplements, for example, pills, gummies, capsules, or even powder, things like this. Let me show you an example. So this is a listing I've worked on, and this is the main image I have optimized. Let's jump straight in. Well, actually, no. Let's firstly discuss what the CTR is and what it is so important. First of all, you should understand that if you do not get clicks, you do not get sales. And in order to get clicks, you need to get noticed and you need to hook the shopper somehow so that they want to click your product. For that, your main image has 2 jobs to do. First of all, it needs to stand out in the crowd. So, for example, if we compare these 2 images here, this one on the right and the one on the left, it's quite obvious that one on the left stands out much better. Now we'll discuss why. So, this is the first job. Your product needs to stand out in the crowded Amazon search results. And second job it needs to do, it needs to explain what your product is so that the shopper understands, okay, this works like this. This is exactly what I need. This solves the following pain. This gives the following benefit. This is exactly what I'm looking for. Or this is not what I need. And in that case, they do not click and do not waste your PPC money if this is not the product they need. So, to sum up, your main image in whatever category you are needs to do 2 things. It needs to catch the eyeballs, so it needs to attract attention in the search results so that it gets noticed, and it needs to explain the product well enough so that the shoppers understand what it is and how it works, so that they instantly know, okay, I need this, or okay, I do not need this. All right, now how do we achieve this? Let me instantly show you an example. This is the optimized version of the image that I've just shown you. And let's go through the points I've prepared. First one, you want to show what's inside, whether it's pills, gummies, or capsules. Why we do this? We want to show the shopper what exactly they're purchasing. So they see, okay, I'm gonna eat or drink this thing. It increases the trust. They understand what exactly they are buying. They are not buying the packaging. They are buying the pills which they are gonna drink, or the capsules, or whatever. So you want to show what's inside. So it will increase trust. Next point, you want to show ingredients. In this case, this is this weird fruit that is hard for me to pronounce. I'm not sure if I will pronounce it correctly, but it looks like it reads aguaje, something like this. But the point is, you want to show the ingredient, especially if your product is natural. Why we do this? First of all, again, trust element. We explain our shopper, our customer, our product is made of this. It's not a chemical. Look, this is exactly what it's made of. It's a real fruit that exists, and it's made of this fruit. What else this fruit does is it has a color. Usually, whenever you show some kind of fruit, it will have a color that will stand out. So this fruit does several jobs simultaneously. First of all, it adds some color that stands out in the search results. Additionally, it says my product is natural. This is what it's made of. And third point, it explains again what the product is made of. Not that just it's natural, but it shows this is what we made the product from. This is derived from fruit. You can see it again. It increases trust. So it shows that natural. It shows what exactly it's made of, and increases trust, and it stands out in the crowd. Usually you can do it with any fruit or plant. What's the next point? Flavor. Sometimes you sell gummies or powder with a specific flavor. In this case, there was no specific flavor to mention, so I did not mention it. But sometimes, let's say you have a chocolate flavor or apple or something like this, and you might want to show some beautiful chocolate here, which will also attract attention. It kind of unconsciously makes the shoppers imagine this taste, this flavor, and imagine themselves eating it or adding, if it's a powder, adding it to their drink and imagining themselves feeling the flavor. Additionally, if you have some specific flavor on your product, someone might not like it, so they will instantly see, okay, this is a chocolate flavor and I do not like chocolate, so they will not click your product and will not waste your PPC money. What else? Next point number 4. How long is it going to last? I always recommend to add such kind of thing that says how long it's gonna last. It says 2 months supply. Yeah, typically you will always write on the bottle, on whatever packaging you have, how many caps, how many pills, how much powder there will be, but what does it give to a shopper? They will need to open the listing, they will need to see the instruction and then count how much it's gonna last. But here you instantly tell, okay, this is gonna help you for 2 months. And simplicity always wins. What else? The next point, what the product does. Benefits, unique value propositions. You might check your competitor listings, analyze them with AI, or if you know your product well already, you need to understand what your product is and how it works to be able to build your main image in such a way that explains the most important points. So if we compare this image with this one, what we can see is the phrase that it is very easy to read and notice that says hormone balance and carb enhancement. It clearly indicates what the product is and how it works. So the lady will read this and understand, okay, this is the benefit, the main benefit that the product has. This is exactly what I need, and they will click it. Or if they do not need these benefits, they will simply not waste your PPC money on this. So it used to write all natural carb enhancement, but the letters were small and it also missed hormone balance. And now it's much larger, much easier to notice and easier to read. So we clearly indicate what the product is and how it works. The last point I wanted to highlight is greenery. So what I mean by that, in this case, I've added some leaves from palm leaves because this fruit grows on a palm, as far as I understood. So you add these leaves and what they do is, again, unconsciously, when someone sees some greenery, some leaves or natural fruits that look nice or juicy or tasty or anything related to nature, they unconsciously think, okay, this product must be natural, because this is how our brain works. It happens in an instant. Someone sees a green leaf and they see, okay, it must symbolize that the product is natural, it's plant-based, and something like this. We might not even understand this, but this is how we perceive such kind of greenery in this image. And again, who doesn't like natural products? Everyone does. So that's a plus, that's a trust point. And additionally, what the greenery does, again, it has a very bright color that will make your product stand out in the search results. So these are several points that will certainly help you increase your click-through rate in supplements category specifically. And you can easily apply the same logic, the same tricks in other categories as well. So hope it was helpful. And if you have any questions, just leave them down below, and wish you nice sales. Bye bye.